Hello everyone, hello, that's your very own Buddy Block reporting it. It is currently 3:40 in the game right now, and I have done quite a lot of stuff since my last episode, which I believe went up last Saturday. I'm not really sure, how I'm gonna set up the whole Slime Rancher in accordance with Psychonauts and to see if I'm gonna play some more games. Anyways, I don't know if I show this, but I added this silo, and I already purchased all 4 ports because it can store up to 4 items. So it's really nice. And these 3 pens right here are pretty much the exact same, except on the other side of this, I sacrificed a chicken coop to house these little fellas. Now, I found these guys in the Moss Blanket, which is a world, or a part of the world that you can unlock using the slime key that you get from the pink largo. That is just kind of sitting there and you shoot food into its mouth. It's kind of funny, like, you shoot all kinds of food into its mouth, and then it kind of closes its mouth and it has like a very worried expression, and then it explodes into little pink slimes, and it has like other items and stuff that are almost immediately gobbled up by the little pink slimes that have been released, and it gives you a slime key, so that's really nice. Anyways, like I said, it is now 4 whatever in the afternoon, so it's getting dark. Anyways, these guys explode and they eat primarily meat, and I haven't really been stocking up on their food, so that's probably why they're a little explodey. Oh, why is this over here? One must have gotten loose. And if you heard a meow, that was Buttons being a butt. Buttons, leave me alone. I'm gonna close the door, I swear. I swear on me, mum. Oh, and I recall that I purchased the cave thing over here. And I don't know if you recall, but literally all this space was filled with phosphorus slimes. But I accidentally introduced a little pink plort and it transformed them all, so I had to build an incinerator, get rid of a couple, and build these 2 pens, because collecting the plorts was a nightmare. Even if you weren't pointing the vac gun directly at them, they would still somehow find themselves caught on the nozzle, and it was really, really awful, so I had to be the bad guy for like a brief moment. But never again, history will not repeat itself unless it is a tar slime. In that case, I will have no mercy. Just shoot them off into the ocean without a second's remorse. But then again, the slime ocean doesn't really kill slimes the way that it kills you. Like, I've been knocked out once by some surprisingly aggressive slimes, I didn't know that they existed, but they do, so I guess, yeah, I have to take that into, consideration and all that stuff, I have to be careful where I travel, when I travel, and, how many items I might be carrying on my person at the time. But yeah, speaking of items carrying on my person, I've upgraded, I think I've, gotten every single upgrade available in this game so far. As you can see on the bottom left corner, my health meter and my energy meter has been increased, I think, from 100 to 250, so that's pretty cool. And I also got the little bonuses to where using the jetpack and the dash boots is pretty much just sprinting, the cost, is pretty much halved, so I can kind of run for like twice as long, and it's really, really nice too, especially when you're traveling a little far from home or a little far from the ranch. So yeah, it's really, really nice. And I also got this little feature that's on the Q button where, like, for example, you're being swarmed by slimes and they're all around and you can't make up from down and you can't simply hop out of it. You just press Q and boom, they're pushed to the side. It's kind of effective, and I bought it for the express purpose of using it back in the cave for the pink phosphor slimes and stuff, but it was only so effective, and so I just made the pens and all that stuff. So yeah, there's that I got going on that side of the ranch. Now I gotta show you the other side once I deposit all these freaking plorts. Thinking about it, the word choiceage of this game is very, very adorable. Plort, it kind of like takes me back to freaking, I think it was Jimmy Neutron or something, just with like those that species of alien that enslaved all of their parents and were about to sacrifice it to their giant chicken god or whatever. But yeah, anyways, this side over here is called the overgrowth area, and chickens just naturally spawn, so it's really, really nice, especially if you have some meat-eating slimes and stuff. And once in a while it'll grow a couple carrots and a couple of pogo fruits. There's the little tree poking out right there, but I don't see any fruits on the ground. Never mind. I stand corrected. Yeah, I got a couple of Q-berry trees growing right now because they're the phosphor slime's favorite food. And the thing about like the favorite food and stuff, you can look it up on like the Slimepedia and stuff. If you give a slime their favorite food, be it a fruit, a veggie, or a type of meat, or anything else, I think, they will produce double the plorts, which doesn't really make sense because they're eating the same amount of food but giving twice the amount of like output, so it doesn't really make a lot of sense. But anyways, I found these guys in the moss blanket too, along with the boom slimes over there. They're called honey slimes, and they eat primarily fruit, and their favorite fruit is called a mint mango, I think? I forget. But I was reading about the information on the Slimepedia, and apparently their plorts are considered very, very sweet, like borderline not safe for human consumption, but people like put them on their breakfasts, cereals anyway. I'm just like, ew, you're eating its poop. I don't care if it's like hyper refined sugar, you know, in a sense, but it still came out of that animal's equivalent of an anus, so why? You know, they literally eat the poo-poo, so mild reference, but yeah. Also, in the little area where you find all these honey slimes and the boom slimes, there are these little types of chickens called briar hens. And they look really, really tough, and it looks like they have their wings tattooed. It's really, really beautiful if I could find one. No, that's an elder roostro. Apparently the chickens can get old in this game. Oh, there's one. There's one right there. Look at that. Doesn't that little guy look tough? Or actually, little lady look tough? Because, you know, chickens do have very obvious sexual dimorphism, so... Aw, that carrot was old. And also in the moss blanket, there are these little puddle slimes. And they just pretty much hang out in water. They eat a unit of water every once in a while and poop out a plort. And they're very, very, very annoying to collect. And unfortunately with the ponds, you can't add like an automatic plort collector, and the game froze for some reason. So let's just give it a moment. There we go. All you can do is demolish it. And the thing about demolishing, it doesn't reimburse any of the money that you've invested into a little plot. And it costs you money of all things. So I'm just like, capitalism. Even in the deep recesses of space. Whoa, wait, hold on a moment. What are you doing down there? Get out of there. What are you doing? Come on. Come on. You see this? Trying to hide from its inevitable fate. Anyways, I'm gonna get rid of a couple of pogo fruits, pick up a couple of hens, and yeah, just be on my way to show you probably the moss blanket itself. And a couple of other things too, because this game is still like in early access, you know, so a lot of areas aren't still, you know, like available to wander around and like explore and stuff. So yeah, but I'm not complaining, you know. This game is it's quite its own, you know, its own thing, you know, with whatever's available right now. So yeah, I'll just take what I got. You know, I'm not going to complain. And the lag is suddenly very, very real, and Buttons won't leave me alone. He knows that he's being annoying, but the thing about cats, they don't care. They don't care how you feel about their you know, conduct. All they want is their gratification, and they want their way. And that's how they work. You know, like people would be like, "Oh, dogs are so much cooler than cats, and cats don't feel remorse, and they don't feel anything." You know, blah, blah, blah. Well, first off, that's a bunch of lies. Cats do feel things. They just don't care how it affects you. So, yeah. Even though cats are self-domesticated and all that stuff, they still don't have very good, like, table manners in a sense. They just kind of go at it and shove their butts in your face. So, yeah. Sometimes you just gotta deal with the fact that your cat's butthole has touched nearly every surface in your house. So yeah, there's that. So I think these guys are out of food. I'm not really sure. Yeah, let's put a couple of heartbeats in here. Alright. Those guys are still exploding. You know, when I first encountered them, my first thought was, man, they sure remind me of Ruby from Steven Universe, you know, just kind of exploding and setting things on fire. Ow, frick. Of course, I don't think there's anything really flammable in this game. They just kind of explode, and it's an outward force, so of course it causes damage, you know? And these guys aren't eating their food. What the heck? They're a bunch of gluttons. Frick. You know? That's another thing I was noticing in this game. I didn't know if it was a glitch or anything, but sometimes they would just hold the food in front of their mouth, and it would be kind of like stuck to their bodies and stuff, but they wouldn't eat it. And they just kind of be holding it there. So I don't know if that was kind of intended, or if it's like a little small glitch that happens every once in a while. Ooh, did you hear that? It sounded like an evil slime for a moment. Really hope tar slimes haven't found their way to my ranch. I mean, they do have a slight intelligence to them, I think. Not a whole lot, but they do recognize that I am a rancher and that I am delicious. Because even in the Slimepedia, it says that their favorite food is other slimes and ranchers, I think. So yeah. If I sound a little more nasally than usual, I think I might be coming down with the sickness, but I'm not entirely sure. Because this is kind of like a reoccurring theme where I feel slightly ill, but I'm not like 100% ill. I'm maybe like 40% ill, but it's still like a pretty large percentage, you know, in comparison. Oh, it's currently 2 in the morning in the game. Wow. Okay. So one thing I kind of like about this game is that each second in real time is a minute in the game, but at the same time it's kind of annoying because you know, you're trying to get stuff done, you're trying to be able to see everything, and the flashlight works only so much. So do I still have it on? Yeah, I still had it on. Alright, so I'm just going to deposit these Q berries in here because it is the phosphor slime's favorite fruit, and the pink slimes don't have a favorite. So there's that. So yeah, I'm going to visit the other areas I was mentioning earlier. Frick, oh my god. Get back here. But yeah, the little jetpack isn't so bad, especially with the meter increases and the energy efficiency and all that stuff, but it only takes you so far. It's probably like the dinkiest jetpack I've ever used, but at the same time it kind of makes sense physics-wise, perhaps. I mean, I never took physics in high school, so I don't know much about the physics and all that stuff. But I did take AP biology, and that was really, really fun, learning about the nephrons and the adrenal glands and all that stuff. Yeah, I remember I made a presentation about adrenaline in the system, and we had to use this online source, I forget, but it had like preset characters and like accents you can choose from. And I chose these 2 robots that looked really, really clunky, and I really liked them, and I gave one like an Australian accent, and I gave another one like a hip-hop accent. I think that's what it was literally called in like the drop-down menu that you can choose from. So silly, but I kind of like went into detail about the adrenal glands and all that stuff, and adrenaline and how it affects the system and all that stuff. It's pretty cool. So we're getting close to the new area, and I saw a map on Tumblr, and this was called like Death Island or something, I forget. But anyways, this is really, really easy to miss, but there's a cat largo like right there, a really, really huge slime that you shoot like chickens into, so that way it grows. Whoa, the music got intense. There's probably like a ton of tar over there. I'm not gonna bother. So after this cat explodes, for some reason it didn't give me another like slime key, unlike the first one, the pink one. And this is a little teleporter that will take you all the way back to your base, but unfortunately it's only a one-way transfer, so I'm not going to take it right now. I'm going to go past the point of no return. And I remember every time I would visit this little area, there would always be 2 Q berries, like exactly, and I was always wondering, where are these coming from? Turns out the tree's right there, and there's already a couple growing, so that's really nice. Alright, so we're gonna head over this little walkway. It looks very, very sturdy, and like it's gonna last forever. You know, that other side over there doesn't really reflect on the quality of the craftsmanship. So yeah, you just come here and it's like, oh, press E to use your slime key, and then you get a little fanfare and the slime's like cheering you on, and then this slides down, and then you go in and it's like, oh, you reached a moss blanket, and you know, it's like a jungle climate, and like tons of cool stuff is found here, and you know, just explore. Then you get to this entryway that looks really cool, really scary, and is really interesting because once you go down, you can't go back up. And it really, really sucks. Frick. Well, looks like this place is already overrun. So there's like a little water slime right there, and I'm gonna try to grab him. Or not. Oh my god. Frick, where'd he go? And another thing I noticed about this game, you can essentially breathe underwater. So it's not too bad. So I'm gonna get the heck out of here once I find my bearings. Okay, I have to go this way. You know, this is a really good way of crowd control in a very cute way. So I'm not really gonna bother with trying to save everyone because you can only save so many slimes, especially in these close quarters. It's really, really annoying. So yeah, there are a bunch of these boom slimes, and they've already like, oh, that one just transformed. So I'm outie. Well, so yeah. But in this little hallway, a little weird phenomena happens. These aggressive slimes appear, ow, and they do bite, and it sucks. And I do have the Q, but I sometimes forget that I have the Q, so I kind of elect to ignore it. I'm gonna get rid of these guys. Alright, I gotta grab this guy before he transforms. Nice. Okay, so this is just a little alcove type area. Reminds me a lot of the deep jungle from the first Kingdom Hearts, not gonna lie. Except without as many trees, and there aren't really many tree houses in sight. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Speaking of Kingdom Hearts, this whole place, sometimes the music plays and it gives me such a Kingdom Hearts feel. Like, what was it? Like the pirate ship? No, it wasn't the pirate ship. It was Traverse Town, perhaps? Yeah, it reminds me a lot of Traverse Town, so I got that going on. Alright, I grabbed that guy. Oh. I'm gonna put you in the water. Because I think they can drown. I know I can't drown. I'm probably wearing a helmet, but I'm not really entirely sure. So yeah, this is a really, really beautiful area, but the mutations are happening at a very quick rate for some reason. Especially like right now that I'm visiting. Probably because I visited it so many times that it kind of has a rate counter or whatever of how many times I visit, and then it kind of increases the amount of times the tar slimes will appear. I'm not really sure. It's kind of like the what do they call it? The drive from Kingdom Hearts 2. You know that whole thing? Oh, frick. Get out of here. So yeah, like pretty much in Kingdom Hearts 2, if you use like any other drive, be it Valor, Wisdom, or I think even Master Drive or the form, it'll increase like this sort of internal counter and increase the chances that you end up with anti-form. Of course, that counter decreases by 10 every time you use, what was it, Final? I don't even know. But yeah, there's another area over here where you could use the slime key, which I presume you get from the big cat. But the big cat didn't give me anything, and there isn't a small podium with a green button on it, so I think this place is still like under the works. So I'm just gonna head back to my ranch, like presto, and just deposit these little honey slimes and puddle slimes and all that stuff, and I'm gonna call it an episode. Because that's pretty much all that I have going on. I'm pretty much really nice and stable. It's just really difficult right now because I have to maintain the slimes with their respective foods. It's pretty tough. It's pretty tough, especially since these guys like now ran out, but I'm gonna pause these two in the time being. Yeah. And I got these little puddle slimes and stuff. So, yeah. Oh, they all went back in my gut. I thought that they accidentally fell out again. Because like I said, it's really, really annoying to try to like collect plorts from these guys because one, there's no automatic plort collector, and two, sometimes if you try to suck up a plort, you suck up water instead. Oh my god. Get back here. These slimes can get very, very ridiculous. I saw a slime actually bounce off of one slime and vault up so high up in the air that it took like an entire minute for it to come back down. So, unfortunately I didn't record it, but oh well, you know. Maybe next time. There were some really choice moments that I probably should have been recording at the time, but I wasn't, so that's that. And the lag is super real. I just got so much activity going on. But you know what? At least I'm productive and I'm very successful. But I think among the other ranchers, because this is a very, very wide, you know, area. Maybe not just on this planet per se, but maybe like on other planets too. I'm not really sure how this whole plort collecting thing works. But I'm considered amongst the other slime ranchers as a greenhorn, which I think is like an old term for newbie. I'm not really sure. So yeah, I just pretty much have everything going for me, so it's really, really nice. Probably gonna have to like move everything around a little bit and give those guys a couple of pink plorts so that they calm down and that they aren't so strictly adhered to meat. So yeah. Anyways, I hope you have a good day. If it isn't a good day, treat yourself to a little something. And until we meet again next time, I really hope you do. Bye!